It's Bob and Tom Tonight, starring Chick McGee, Christy Lee, Josh Arnold, and Tom Griswold. And now, here's Tom.
Bob and Tom. Bob and Tom. Bob and Tom.
Welcome back to the Bob and Tom Show, coming to you worldwide from the Napa Auto Parts Studios. And, of course, we are worldwide on American Forces Radio. That feels good right there. That's the spot.
Please stop.
In the studio, we have our engineer, Ace Cosby.
Hello, Britons.
Good to see you, Ace.
That's right.
You can listen to that voice. Chick McGee, professional broadcaster, at the Omaha Steaks Sports Desk. I said that for the benefit of our guest.
I understand that.
Race car driver.
He might mistake me for someone wandering in from the street. I don't mind that. I consider that a compliment.
It's the very handsome Ron Capps, the driver for Napa. Ron, you're looking great today.
Oh, thank you.
And then you're looking equally handsome. It's Josh Arnold.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you.
And the lady of the house had to leave. Christy Lee had a family situation.
Do I hear wedding bells?
Arise very quickly. She was really looking forward to seeing you. And she suddenly left about half an hour ago. I think she's still speaking to all of us.
Cause I'm pregnant.
Now, so we really don't have any news to do because,
Yeah.
I mean, I could do some, but perhaps I should not. Ron, how fast are you going to be going this weekend? You've got the U.S. Nationals coming up. Your thoughts on speed?
Well, the weather out there in Indy looks good. I mean, really good. And we start Friday night. And if you haven't seen Nitro, 11,000 horsepower, 6-foot flames out of both sides. The night sessions are what it's all about. So we'll see. It sounds like it's going to be fast.
All right.
And loud.
And loud.
Loud. Now, what is the top speed you've ever been in your life, do you know?
333 miles per hour.
Man,
in a quarter mile.
333.
0 to 333 in 3.9 seconds.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, it happens fast.
That will pull the inside out of your body. Wouldn't you just turn inside out instantly? Wouldn't you?
Time travel.
Yes. You go back 4 seconds or something.
Now, what is that in the realm of physics in the world of G's?
It's more than anything on the planet but a fighter pilot. And that space shuttle pilots are about 5.2, 5.3. When they're shot into space, we go upwards of 6 Gs.
Holy
a
cow.
fighter pilot can go upwards of 8 Gs. But
Wow.
that's
How does your body train for that? Do you build it up?
that's not even the cool part. The cool part is when you hit the parachutes, you go to upwards 9 Gs, 10 Gs. It'll spike when the parachutes hit. So
No
there's a lot
kidding.
going on in that little span of 3.8 or 9 seconds.
At what point does the body pass out?
A little over. If it sustains for a long time, we don't.
Right.
Fortunately, but if you do that for any more than a couple of seconds, you've got a G suit on, and like the fighter pilots do.
Okay.
The parachute thing is so cool.
Yeah. Well, it's cool when they open.
Yeah, I was going to say that, of course, I probably shouldn't have brought that up. On occasion, there are issues when
It's like jumping out of a plane. You're very, very happy when the chute's open.
Now, to emphasize the positive, which is my role here on the
Yes,
show.
that's
Sure,
your
of course,
role,
yeah.
all right. Yeah.
We had a
Mr.
story.
Brightside.
We had a story just last week. Remember, where
Yeah.
the woman's chute did not open, and she's okay.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
She broke all of her bones, I think.
Well, there were a couple.
Pelvis, long bone in her leg.
I think she broke her skeleton.
Yes.
I think that's all the doctor said was, you had a broken skeleton.
She's not okay then.
Well, she lived. She survived.
Okay,
You call that living?
Well,
Do you?
I don't know.
but it wasn't I forget the world record for having the chute not open from an airplane.
30-some thousand feet. Flight attendant.
It was it was quite a long way, but we'll be hoping that the chute's open every time. Now, typically in the world of in the realm of skydiving, don't most of the guys and gals pack their own chutes?
Oh, to be sure.
Yeah, because you want it done right.
Yeah, and I do. It's funny because I listen to the fans. You're out there packing the chute in the pit area. So NHRA obviously is all access. I mean, it's like going to a concert and going backstage. You are right there. Unlike NASCAR or IndyCar, where you don't get a chance to go down in that area and see the drivers or the superstars. So as you're packing the chute, I love hearing the voices of people trying to tell, you'll get a guy with his new girlfriend out there trying to tell her all about the sport that he thinks he knows or what I'm doing as I pack the chute. And it's kind of hilarious because you don't have to acknowledge you can hear them. but it's always making for good stories.
I bet. You can do one of those Annie Hall moments where you hear him talking and you walk up and go, you know nothing about my work. You know nothing about this sport.
Now, but here's the story, by the way. The skydiver survived a fall of 5,000 feet after her parachute failed to deploy. Her name is, I'm sorry, what is her name? They don't give it. The guy who's speaking here, who witnessed it, he's the witness. He said it was a 30-year-old who hit the trees while landing in a wooded area in Quebec.
Man.
But she's has a broken vertebrae and several fractures, but her life is not in danger.
Isn't that wild?
So there you go. It's good news. Good to know. Now, when you had trouble getting out of the car when your chute failed.
I knew you were going to segue into that. Ironically, it happened at the track we're going to be at this weekend in Indy.
Wow.
And yeah, if you Google my name or whatever, you can see where the car went into the sand trap, and then we have a net that's supposed to catch us if we don't have the parachutes open. Well, my chutes did not open, and it went into the net, went upside down. And in a funny car, you have one way of getting out of a funny car. Actually, you have two. You have a carbon fiber body, and if the crew lifts the body off, you can get out. But they're not down there for that. We have a roof hatch that we pop out of when we do our interviews at the top end of the track. That also lets the smoke out on the burnout. Oh. Well, I was upside down, so there's no way out. And I was trapped in there, and we have fresh air that circulates in our helmet for about 2 minutes, and my fresh air ran out. So I started to panic a little bit. It was probably the scariest moment.
I remember we talked to you after that.
Yeah, it was not a good moment for me in my career.
It would take me back there. What happened? Your air runs out after 2 minutes, and are you hearing?
Well, you can. Then you're just breathing your own air inside the helmet. But I'm laying there looking at the engine in front of me that's cracking and popping, and fuel's around, and oil and hot oil, and you're thinking, next I'm going to be on fire here, and then what's going to happen? Yeah, you get stuff going through your head. The same time, my crew guys are back at the starting line a quarter mile away, and they're on the radio, and I'm telling them, and we're talking to each other, and they're watching it on the TV, just telling me to hang in there, and I'm getting a little panicked, but I had radio to talk to them, which I'm glad they didn't record it, because there were probably a few choice words.
A few salty words there. Like, get your ass.
Get me the
There are a few of those.
Borrow a car and drive down here quick. Did you pack the chute that day?
I did. Yeah.
So at least you didn't. You had that going for you.
It broke the levers off inside the cockpit, and so they fell down by my feet. So I couldn't even get to the levers to hit them for the parachutes to come out.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow. Run me through that again. What happened now?
Well, the levers that we have an air button that I hit, and I hit that about a football field before the finish line. Obviously, we're traveling so fast. By the time I hit the button and the chutes pop out, I traveled a couple football fields. So I hit it, nothing happened. Then I have a backup levers I can reach over and hit. Well, they had broken off during the run from the vibration, and they fell down by my feet. So it's sort of like driving your car and your phone falls down below.
Oh, I hate that.
And you start to panic, and you don't want to look down. Obviously, I'm traveling 300-something miles an hour, so you look for a second, and I'm like, I have no way to get them. Then it was panic. Then it's get on the brakes and hope that you can get it stopped, which I knew at that point I couldn't.
But by the way, did you win that race?
We did win the race. That's the bad part. Yeah.
Again, this is me
So
bringing out
the bad
positive.
part is they have to do it that way every time now. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's
Chick, that
tough.
is not
Good luck.
not how
See,
we want to
we're
approach
talking
the
with
morning.
Ron- with-
You want to win or not, mister?
We're talking with Ron Capps. He drives for Napa. And how do you compare? Watch how delicately I do this.
I'm
How do you compare age-wise to your fellow competitors? Because you look 30.
Thank you.
And I know that you're not.
I'm not. John Force, who is our biggest competitor, he's the biggest name, has been around. He is about 70, and he just beat us in Seattle a few weeks ago. So he's still the guy to beat.
That's amazing. And what other sport?
Man.
Not a lot. I mean, there are a few, but he's got 18-year-old blood running through him, and he is a live wire. And it's.
But he is 70, so his blinker's on the whole time.
That's true.
Literally and figuratively.
So, if you're going to drive in drag racing, what is the components of your skill set? Obviously, reaction time is part of it.
Yeah, reaction time is the big part. That Christmas tree, we all know the flashing lights come down and you leave. So reaction time is big because, world championships are won and lost by thousandths of a second at the reaction time of the Christmas tree.
So do you practice that? Is there like a video game version of it you can do so you don't have to fuel up every time?
Yeah, there's a little practice tester that a handheld that we can just basically test our reaction time. There's nothing to emulate getting in these cars and stepping on it and having the G-forces. So the reaction times are big, and then keeping the car straight. If you go to my Facebook or any of my fan pages, I post these in-car videos, and I actually have a pair of glasses I wear with the camera right between my eyes, and you get to pretty much, without feeling the G-forces, you see what I go through, and it's pretty cool to watch it, even for me after I do it. So keeping the car straight and not letting it wander around, which is not easy.
And what kind of strength does that take to do that?
It takes some strength, but there are women that we've had that are very good that you look at them and you go, wow, how did they handle a race car, and yet they go out and whoop us. So I think finesse is probably more of a factor. At times you have to really give it a lot of strength to keep it straight.
What would you compare it to in terms of rotating the steering wheel to a degree?
I would say riding a bull.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it does take a great deal of strength.
Yeah.
So these women are very strong. That are
Yes.
doing it. And but I would obviously,
Can you imagine one of the many reasons you can't be a driver?
there are many.
You'll be sitting there waiting for the Christmas tree to go green, and you'll get distracted, and the other car will tear off, and you'll be sitting there. And, what happened?
chatting with one of my sons on the phone.
And I got a phone call, and
But you do have communication. So does your crew, is there a point of no return with respect to talk? You say, look, when there's a minute to go, don't tell me anything.
When I roll up to stage the car, during the burnout, we have fun and we talk and we goof around. If there's something wrong, they can tell me before and after the run. And they'll tell me if I won and what the car ran in the shutdown area when the parachutes come out. But during the run and when I'm staging, it's a no-no. You don't talk because it could distract me easily. It's that squirrel moment. You're staging the car and then all of a sudden pops up or you hear something and you're like, oh my gosh. So yeah, there's definitely not during the run. But it's 3.8 seconds, so I can't even talk to them. I used to joke around and I hit my button about half track on a qualifying run and I'd scream, yeehaw! and my guys used to laugh at me, and then I started not having issues keeping the car straight, and I thought I better get off the radio while I'm doing this.
What can you put in financial terms what a run costs with respect to? I mean, obviously you've got your whole crew there, but fuel wise,
you got to imagine, and I don't know what the price of fuel is here. Gasoline, nitromethane is over $30 per gallon, and it's very volatile. It's like rocket fuel.
what if you have your Kroger card? Sorry.
So it to make a run is between $8,000 and $10,000 if nothing blows up. So the fuel cost, obviously, it burns about 15 gallons on just one run. If you can imagine that, it's over $30 a gallon. That's why it's great to have Napa Auto Parts and our partners. We've got one of the best budgets out there. But to do it right, you've got to have multi-million-dollar sponsorship. And that's why you can't just go test and I can't go practice because it's so expensive just to go make a run. So I have to wait until the crew chief wants to go test somewhere to test some parts, and then I'm able to kind of practice my skill or leaving the starting line better or things like that.
Yeah, that's why I was wondering if there was a simulator, obviously without the G-forces, that would help you just get the timing down.
Yeah.
Is there something you do over and over in your head before you get out there?
They cut one of my cockpits up from a few years ago, and I have it at the house, and I have a full-size Christmas tree across the garage. But you literally would have to put the helmet on, and I've gotten in there, and you'll laugh, but I've gotten in there, and you have to have all these sounds going on, so I'm inside the helmet to try to emulate anything going on because the cars are loud, obviously. There's a lot going on, obviously. And so if just sitting in that cockpit and trying to practice reaction time isn't quite the same, although it does help.
So how many runs have you done so far this season?
We've won 3 races. We just won the last one in Minnesota.
The total number of
2
runs
weeks
to
ago.
get there?
Gosh, I don't know. It's 4 qualifying runs per race and 4 runs on Sunday if you win, because it's a 16-car bracket. So theoretically, you make 8 runs, you've had a great weekend. And you multiply that by, we're at 19 races now, getting ready for our playoffs after this weekend in Indy. So
You've done a lot of these.
yeah. It's my 25th year driving.
Wow.
Which is crazy. So I'm lucky enough to be the second winningest funny car driver in history. John Force, obviously, is the leader, 16-time champion. He's won 150 races, which is more than Richard Petty and Andretti. I mean, it's insane the amount of wins he's had, but a lot of those were when I was in high school. So I'm playing catch up, but he is still he's the guy.
Ron Capps is our guest. He drives the Napa funny car. And now, have you ever driven any of the other types of vehicles early on in your career? Or?
Yeah, I've been lucky because, I've gone to go race with Tony Stewart on dirt and sprint cars and midgets, and I tested with the IROC series, and I've been able to go out and venture out in different cars, which is fun for me. But,
how about in the realm of drag racing?
Growing up, I was a crew member and I wanted to be a driver. So I've driven some other cars, but really I kind of sort of jumped into a dragster the first time I ever got my license. And from then on, Don the Snake Prudhomme hired me, who was one of my heroes growing up. I drove for him for 9 years and then moved on to Don Schumacher Racing, where I'm at now. So those are two
we
of the
met
most...
we met the Snake.
Yeah, the Snake. He slithers coolness, doesn't he?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Nobody cooler.
Ron, do you get a thrill at all out of being on like a roller coaster or any, or are you just on it yawning?
There are a few. Cedar Point has a great dragster when they shoot you up in there.
Yes.
Top Fuel Thrill. We actually were the first ones when they opened that to do that. And that is about as close as you can get G-forces. And I have a great picture in my house of me next to this guy about 280 pounds in the roller coaster where they snap that shot of you, when you're taking off.
Yeah.
And this guy's face is going backwards and he looks like he's about to die. And you see me sitting there and I have no look on my face. And really it scared me and it was a great feeling, but the picture kind of tells it all.
Yeah, they are about to build, I guess, the fastest roller coaster in the world.
Wow.
Six Flags in Saudi Arabia is building this thing. It's supposed to be done by 2023. They say it'll be the longest, tallest, and fastest roller coaster in the world. With the longest drop, it'll take you up to more than 150 miles an hour.
Wow.
Which for you, Ron, is...
Just cruising.
Yeah.
And I hear by 2075 they'll allow women to ride it. So that'll be nice.
That will be nice.
Saudi Arabia dig. Very good.
I wish I'd only lived to see it. I'll be daggone.
Well, we're hanging out with Ron Capps. He drives the Napa funny car, and he'll be going very fast this weekend at the NHRA U.S. Nationals. This is the Bob and Tom Show. Happy to be here.
Oh, yes.
That's the spot right there. Christy Lee right
Hi,
next
everybody.
to me at the Navy Federal Credit Union news desk. Pat Godwin is not here today. He's having his stress test.
He's stressed about his stress test.
Yeah, he's all stressed about it. So I think by definition, this is the old Heisenberg principle in physics.
So he's going to fail it.
You're gonna
because
be
he's so
Stressed for the stress test.
Yeah.
You're going to obviously be stressed. You know what I'm talking about over there?
Yeah, but I don't think that's right, but
Yeah,
go
it is.
ahead.
When you measure something, you're
No, measuring it affects
the
it.
okay. So you're measuring his stress and he's stressed about the test. Ace Cosby understands nothing I'm saying, and that's why he's looking at me like,
That's not
"Who are
nice.
you?" No, none of this makes sense or is correct. So
Okay.
Ace just judging me, going, "Okay, no." Extra. I didn't introduce Josh. That cost you $40.
Yeah,
No
you-
one
you
cares about
got $40.
I care.
Stupid world record.
Thank you.
This just in.
Yes.
Yep. Can't
A
wait.
Pennsylvania company set a record for
Oh, boy.
rolling a toy car.
Okay, I'm in.
Anybody want to guess how long?
How big?
far?
How big a toy car?
A toy car.
Like
All
a
right.
matchbox or a...
Can we get a little info here?
Yeah.
Let's see.
That's what it says.
Oh,
You
okay.
guys go ahead.
Oh, I was going to guess miles. I'm wrong.
That's half a mile,
Yeah.
more or less.
Well, I can't see what does it say?
Pennsylvania company rolls toy car down 2,176 feet of track for a world record. So it's probably Hot Wheels on one of those tracks.
I think it's a Hot Wheels, one of those tracks.
Oh.
How cool would it be to have 2,176 feet of Hot Wheels track?
That's got to be. I mean,
I don't know how much Hot
Here
Wheels
it
track
is.
high
costs.
and it goes down.
Could have been. Awesome.
Okay.
What did you say?
I would play with Hot Wheels on tracks today.
Yep, you're right. It's a Hot Wheels car. Whoa, workers at the Benish branch in Pottsville, Pennsylvania.
We're all fired after their supervisors realized.
They spent 8 weeks building.
They started planning the attempt in February, gathered 100 volunteers, including nearly 50 children, to help set up the track this week.
February. This
Yes.
is my favorite world record ever. I loved Hot Wheels when I was a kid.
Me too.
So I
Man.
understand, is this thing going downhill on a giant track?
Longest Hot Wheels track ever.
Well, we'll have to see unless
You
they.
know what? I'll have to.
This makes no sense to me.
Well, it
What
makes
do you
some.
mean? Do
You
you
just
not
want
have
to.
Wait a minute.
Time out.
No. Tomorrow morning we're going to get this story
Yep.
like it's brand new.
Right.
You wait and see.
So these
You
are-
never
these-
had a Hot Wheels car.
Yes, but I'm saying, are they starting at the top of a big
Yes.
incline?
Yes.
We'll find
Come
it.
here and look. Do you want to watch the video?
I can't see the video.
Oh, that's
now.
right, because you can't see. You got a bad eye. I forgot.
How much longer
Oh,
are you
gosh.
going to milk this so-called malady that you
okay.
have?
This thing's pretty cool.
Oh,
course
my
it-
gosh.
Of course, it's propelled by gravity. That's the way Hot Wheels works.
Okay, very good. So it's a ramp.
Well, no, it's
No.
not. It's not a steep incline, but it's an incline enough to keep it going.
Yeah.
2,176 feet.
Pretty awesome.
Do you know what the old...
Outdoors?
Yep.
Yes.
It looks like it's on a.
Any other questions?
It's on a road.
God.
It's on an
What
actual
time
street.
zone was it in? Eastern, I think.
Eastern
right?
Pennsylvania, yeah,
Seems
you're
awfully
right.
visual.
You ever take apart the Hot Wheel tracks and?
Oh, listen to him. Listen to him.
I feel bad. I'm always on your ass, but if I don't, somebody else is. Hello, Bob and Tom Show.
Hey, Bob and Tom, it's Donnie Baker.
Oh, hello,
Donnie.
Donnie.
Must be nice playing Hot Wheels all day. I'm here filling out applications to find me a new job.
Uh-oh,
Really?
what's going on?
Or at least a second job so I can retire sooner.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I don't know if you guys read the paper, but the way things are now with Social Security, they're fixing to run out of money by the time I could actually afford to retire.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Swear to God. People ask me if I got a retirement plan. I'm like, you see all these scratchers in my hand, dumbass? I ain't playing these for my health.
Now, Donnie, do you have a 401k?
I got some Formula 409 I used to clean my boat with, Tom.
No, that's not it.
And my Uncle Sonny with you, he's got a gently used K car that smells like my Aunt Putty's underwear during Shark
God.
Week.
Jeez.
Oh boy.
And during
Donnie.
Shark
That's as
Week.
close to a 401k as I'm ever going to get.
Oh,
if
sorry.
I get another job. Anyways, I need help filling out my applications. I thought maybe you guys could help me with it.
Sure.
Well, this one's asking if I got any special skills.
Okay.
And I just put down mumblety peg and being able to fart the theme song to the show Chips. Are those good answers?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think they are, but I'd like to see that.
Yeah, me too.
I'd do it for you, Chick, but I don't have one in the chamber right now.
Okay.
Do you remember the theme from Chips? It does sound like it sounds like they're farting. He's not wrong.
You know, this thing, God, now the screen's locked up. I'm over there. I don't know if I even want to work at a daycare center anyways.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Donnie.
This next application wants to know where I see myself in 5 years.
Yeah, where do you?
Well, hell, I don't know, Christy. In 5 years, I see myself putting a baby in a Kardashian and never having to work again.
luck.
If I'm supposed to be answering honestly. Now, here's one that I asked. Name your strongest
Attribute.
Oh. Okay, well,
something good about you. What's your strongest your talent, your
Oh,
skill
okay.
set? Are you a hard worker,
What?
for example?
Well, hell, I'll just put down here, that's for me to know and you to find out later. Exclamation point, Dick. I swear to God.
That's not going to
That's
help.
not a good answer.
No.
Final question. It's about damn time, man. Filling out these applications for work is more work than actual work is when you're working.
Right.
Finally, it says they want to know why I left my previous job. I'm guessing I should leave the whole tire slashing incident out.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to put something less incriminating. I'll put down, cause my boss was a dick about me having relations with his wife and mother-in-law.
He didn't care for that, huh? Okay.
Even though he always encouraged us to multitask, Josh.
Yeah. Yeah, and you did.
Go figure.
All right, I'll just click send. I hope that I get an interview out of these because that's where I really shine anyways, is in one-on-one interviews.
Yeah,
I bet.
we can tell that every day on the show.
Yeah.
It's your strength.
Oh, damn, I got to run. Time's up on the computer at the library. I'll
Okay,
call you back
thanks,
later.
thanks, Don.
All right,
Keep us posted.
Very, very helpful. The theme to Chips.
I wouldn't be able to tell
I
you.
don't think
It
I
starts
could.
out with or something like that. It sounds like someone's having a high-pitched
Really?
gas. Yeah.
Oh.
All right.
And they're motoring down. Ponch and John are riding their sickles down.
Did you
the
watch that
I-5.
show weekly?
I've never seen it. You believe that?
I mean,
of course.
it was kind of a hit, right?
You weren't a chip head Saturday nights, 8 o'clock, NBC?
Now, when you saw
really
that,
young.
when you saw that in the TV guide,
Emergency and chips.
I remember Emergency.
Josh,
one, too.
when you saw that in TV guide, were you thinking?
Start an IV with D5W.
I was very disappointed when I found out it was about highway patrolmen. Yes.
And not chocolate chips.
Yeah, not chocolate chips, not potato chips, not chipped beef.
You want to hear the theme from Chips?
Yep.
Here you go.
So a motorcycle sounds like farting to you.
That's right.
Oh, no,
it does, doesn't it?
Listen to this. It doesn't.
Then there's a siren in it. This isn't the hook part.
But the motorcycle they have, I mean, it sounds like a Vespa.
It does.
You know, they maybe they should have gone with the sound of a Harley at least. So Donnie can do that if he's
How
got one.
exciting.
If he's got one in the chamber.
Watch the entire show live or on demand with the Bob and Tom VIP All Access Pass. Listen live with the Bob and Tom app and make sure to visit bobandtomstore.com. Tune in next time for more Bob and Tom Tonight.